For PokerGaming.com, this is James Gwill. Event number 3 of the 2010 World Series of Poker was a $1,000 no-limit Holdem event. There will be several of these events being held throughout the World Series, held each weekend of the WSOP, and there will also be a final one held just prior to the beginning of the 2010 WSOP main event. 4,345 players took part in this first $1,000 event, and they were split up over 2 days of play. I personally was one of these players that were in this event, but I was also one of the unfortunate ones to bust out during the first day of play. Now, many pros and amateurs ended up playing through the day, and day 2 ended up kicking off with 481 players looking to make both the money and ultimately the final table of the event. 441 players ended up making the money in this event, so it didn't end up taking very long to reach the bubble. Vanessa Russo was actually one of the players that made the money in this event, but no sooner as the bubble had been broken, she ended up getting into a three-way hand that saw her move all in with pocket queens and run into the pocket kings of another player. She was unable to catch another queen, and she was out of this event with her first cash of the 2010 World Series of Poker. Other players that failed to advance past day 2 included Brian Devonshire, Minneapolis Jim Meehan, and Men the Master Win. Men the Master ended up finishing 46th in this event. Day 3 saw 41 players return to try to take their shot at the final table of this event. Eric Basebaldy Baldwin was among the players that were looking to make their way to this final table, as was Gabe Costner. Eric Baldwin unfortunately ended up finishing 15th in this event. He was up and down throughout day 3, and after getting to about $500,000 in chips, he decided to move all in with King Queen against Nicholas Mitchell, who woke up with pocket jacks. Baldwin was unable to catch a king or a queen on the board, and he was out in 15th place. The final table of this event was headlined by pro Gabe Costner and was led by Adam Daya going into the final table. He held $2.855 million in chips and had a pretty sizable lead over the rest of the field. Richard Rice was the first player eliminated from the final table. He was all in for $575,000 pre-flop after Nicholas Mitchell had raised to $110,000. Mitchell had ace-jack against the king-queen of Rice. Rice was unable to catch a face card on the flop or turn. However, he did pick up a straight draw. The river failed to complete a straight, and Rice ended up finishing in 9th place, taking home $51,735. Dash Dudley was the next player out, and he was eliminated in a battle of the short stacks. He moved all in for just $250,000, and Isaac Settle ended up making the call. Settle held ace-jack of diamonds against a 10-7 of diamonds for Dudley. Only a 7 would give Dudley a double-up at this point. A 7 never ended up hitting the board, and Dudley was out in 8th place, good for $67,221. Settle ended up not lasting for very long past this point. He was soon all in with pocket jacks against the ace-10 of Bart Davis. The flop put pretty much a quick end to Settle as it fell with an ace. He was unable to catch a jack to make a set, and he was out in 7th place for $88,025. Corey Brown was out the door next. He moved all in with Jack 9 on a 9-high flop, and Gabe Costner made the call with the 10-7 of hearts. There were 2 hearts on the flop, and Costner now had a flush draw. The turn missed both players, but the river fell another heart to give Costner a flush and send Brown out in 6th place. He received just over $116,000 for his strong effort. Nick Mitchell was soon all in with just a measly 4-5 against the ace-7, a deep pack body. The flop fell 4 ace-7 to give both a pair, and Mitchell needed a 4 in order to double up. The turn was a check and the river a 3, and Mitchell was out in 5th. He took home just over $154,000 in prize. Bart Davis went out in dramatic style. After Adam Daya raised to $300,000 pre-flop, Davis re-raised to $750,000. Daya called, and the flop fell the Jack of Hearts, the 9 of Hearts, and the 5 of Hearts. Davis moved all in, and Daya made the call and turned over the ace of hearts, 10 of hearts for the nut flush. Davis needed a queen and the board to pair in some other fashion in order to win the hand. The king of diamonds on the turn sealed the deal, and Bart Davis headed out to collect $206,904 for his fourth place finish. Now, Gabe Costner headlined this final table, however, he ended up finishing in third place. He was all in pre-flop with ace-queen and ran smack into the ace-king of Adam Daya. The board produced an ace, but, queen never came. As a result, Costner was out in third place for $279,327. Adam Daya started heads-up play with a nice $2 million chip lead, as he held $7.7 million against $5.5 million of Deepak Bhatta. Daya proceeded to grind down Body to the point to where Body was down to just under $1 million chip. With the blinds at $120,000 and $240,000, he pretty much had to pick a hand and go. The final hand saw Body move all in with the king of hearts, 5 of spades, and Daya unfortunately woke up with pocket queens. A 5 hit the flop to give Daya a bit of a sweat, but in the turning river ended up hitting blanks. And as a result, Adam Daya is our champion. Deepak Body finished in second place and took home a strong $385,106 for his efforts. Adam Daya, as a result, is the event number 3 champion. He survived a massive field to take home $625,872 and the coveted gold bracelet. Congratulations. For PokerGaming.com, this is James Gwill. Stay tuned as we continue to bring you more coverage and recaps from all the events of the 2010 World Series of Poker.